we're going to take a look into who's behind locker number 33. Due to privacy reasons, we will not be revealing real names of anybody associated with the locker. Instead, we're going to assign an identity to the main character, if you will, of the locker. In this case, since it's the first locker debrief we've ever done, we're going to call our main character Alice. So, let's meet Alice. Let's start with Alice's family. Alice had at least 2 kids, 1 son and 1 daughter. There was men's clothes in the locker, but there was evidence of a divorce, so we believe that the clothing was the son's. We'll get back to Alice's kids in a minute. Let's talk about Alice. It was pretty obvious that Alice had an image to maintain. There were business clothes and designer or luxury purses, whatever you prefer to call it, specifically Louis Vuitton. And there were a lot of nicer brand clothing you'd find in higher-end stores. Alice preferred some of the finer things in life. Some of the decor that we had found in her locker was very high quality. She had an image to maintain, and she was doing her best. Now that we have the characters, let's start painting a story. Alice's daughter was destined for law school. We found letters urging her daughter to start writing applications for certain schools, quite a few schools actually, that really wanted Alice's daughter to apply. I'm sure Alice was proud of her daughter, might have even been following in her mother's footsteps, since we don't exactly know what career Alice was in. We just know it was something that she had to dress professionally and portray a certain type of lifestyle. Alice's son, on the other hand, is not such a happy story. By Alice's own admission in some of the writings we found in her locker, she got her son sent to prison.
No, it sounded like she sent him to prison.
It's unclear what he was serving for and or how severe his sentence was. There was no details of that. However, her son sent Alice 2, not 1, but 2, visitor application forms and pleaded with her in a letter to come and visit him.
Application for visiting privileges? Someone got arrested. Her son. Nope. Her son was in jail.
Oh. Does it say for what?
No, but it's a letter from her son, enclosing the.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, enclosing the applications.
That both of them seem to have gone unanswered. And this is where we believe life took a difficult turn for Alice. It seems like money started getting a little tighter and tighter. However, Alice still had an image to maintain, whether it was for her job or whether it was just the lifestyle she was used to living now and she wanted to keep it. And she didn't want people to know that money was getting harder. She started investing in more designer bags to help her image. These just weren't real designer bags. She's got quite a few really good fakes with authentication cards, which if anyone is familiar with Louis Vuitton and Chanel and some of those name brand purses, they don't come with authentication cards. This is how we know these bags are fake. But they were good enough fakes to fool people, just without the more strenuous price tag that Alice no longer seems to be able to afford. Alice also started having health problems. There were many sheets of questions for Alice's doctors that she had wrote out wanting answers that talked about breathing issues, lung scarring, and one specific, I was forced to breathe in mold for 23 years. What problems could that cause? All of which sounds pretty nasty and was coming to a head right around the time that the pandemic was becoming a really big thing. The vaping and smoking probably didn't help. You can smell it in the clothes, in the curtains, and in the bedding. Either Alice or Alice and her kids vaped and smoked quite heavily. It's here that our look into Alice's life ends. We don't know where she ended up, or even if her story is drawn to a close entirely. All that we know is that she no longer could, or was no longer interested in, paying for the locker. So, now that our story with Alice has drawn to a close, let's go over some fun facts that we found about Alice while digging through all of the stuff in her locker. Fun fact number 1. Alice was a pandemic toilet paper hoarder. That's right, we found tons of toilet paper stuffed in her locker where she had been saving it in case the stores ran out. Even though Alice was no spring chicken, she was on the older side of life, she was out looking for love after her divorce. She had some raunchy, explicit photos and some desperate texts to multiple men in her phone that we were going through deleting personal information out of before we could sell them. Fact number 3. Someone in Alice's family collected baseball cards, even some very rare misprints, which we're pretty excited about. And they kept them really nice, so might have some money there. Fun fact number 4. All of Alice's clothes were stored in trash bags in her storage locker, and in one of them she had tank tops, probably 50, maybe 60 tank tops in this trash bag, and they are all color coordinated. Number 5. We found old photos of a Navy sailor meeting President Kennedy. Someone in Alice's family, at some point, got to meet the president while serving in our nation's military. Fun fact number 6. Alice kept every credit card application junk mail that she ever got. Every single one. And this is where we say goodbye to Alice and her family and wish them all the best of luck. And where we say goodbye to you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.